Well, we all know that Elon Musk knows how to crack a window, but can he crack the secret to Twitter? Founder Jack Dorsey apparently thinks so. That's why he's enlisted the Tesla CEO for help in trying to fix a social media giant. So what are Musk's solutions? He says, find the bots, something Musk deals with on a daily basis. Now, I'd like to bring in Federalist senior editor Chris Bedford because, Chris, yesterday, I put out a tweet wondering why with the China trade deal the day before, I never saw a Trump tweet once. But when I turned on Twitter yesterday, the top tweet was Trump Hotel. Like, I don't get it. Like, what drives the news there? What drives the narrative there? And as much as we complain about Russia, the platform itself should be finding a better way to police itself.
It should. I mean, I think it's kind of strange for Jack to do what he did. One of the secrets to being a successful CEO is talking to smart people, getting their ideas, and then convincing your employees that you came up with those ideas yourself. He actually beamed him in and said, what do we do here? I liked Elon Musk's solution cautiously. Twitter used to be famous for being a spot. The free speech was their mantra. And when you have that as a rule, it's easy to follow. You don't get caught up in trying to please this party or that party. And for the last few years, they've been dragged down into this horrible swamp of trying to censor people, and it's the opposite of what Twitter's supposed to be. I think Elon Musk had a pretty interesting idea there, which is identify the bots. How do you get to the coordinated, not human campaigns that are being launched by different groups and comment sections around Twitter to target accounts, to get accounts shut down, to get people censored? It is a problem, and it pushes a lot of viewers away from Twitter, I think.
Yeah. I was with a group of people who had dinner with Jack Dorsey, and then I had a private lunch with him almost a year ago or so, and he was great. He seems sincere that he wants to listen and learn, and he didn't do any of my ideas, but we talked about these bots, how sophisticated they are, and over a 24-hour period, usually what they do is they'll hone in on something. Like with me, it's either black conservative, race, or really slurs, like slurs toward black conservatives. And so whenever something happens, let's say President Trump retweets me, I know the next 24 hours is going to be hell. Not the first couple hours, but once these bots get informed, they come at you, and he knows it too, and it seems like they should be able to stop that or at least filter it.
One of the big secrets behind Facebook and Twitter's constant censorship and screw-ups and inability to ping down these bots is that these companies are not as sophisticated or as intelligent as they pretend they are. They don't have the technology to track this stuff down the way they'd like to. When they try to catch on to people, Charles, who are being rude or being racist or being over the line, they end up censoring people who are just sharing actually valid political opinions.
Right.
And it's because their algorithms, which are written by humans, typically just cannot keep up with it. They're not as good as they pretend they are.
Chris, before I let you go, how big of an impact do you think all of this will have this year in the election?
I have to wonder exactly what's going to happen to Twitter at all once Donald Trump stops tweeting. I don't know when that's going to be, though.
No, it won't be before the election, though. But I do believe it's going to have some impact. Although, I got to tell you, for me, if I see someone with 0 followers, they're following 0 people, and they've been on Twitter for 2 years, normally it's a bot. Sophisticated, but normally it's a bot. Chris,
you can figure it out.
You can. Thank you very much. See you soon.
See you.